to interrupt your dinner conversation, but it's time to start with this evening's speaker. So I want to introduce myself. My name is Shea, and I'm the organizer of this event. It's called Monday Night Live at Cafe Gratitude. Almost blew that. So welcome to Monday Night Live at Cafe Gratitude. Thank you. I recognize 98% of your faces. So for anybody who's new, welcome. And if you end up liking the event, please go ahead and sign up on the mailing list, because I'll send out an email every week which will give you access to an interview with the next upcoming speaker, and you can see if you're interested. There's also a video link to the the previous speaker if you liked it enough to want to watch it again. So please do check in with that. I think I'll go over a little bit of who's coming over and who's coming next. We've got Catherine Ackland next week. She is Raw Food Central in Sebastopol, and she's going to be talking about how to transition into conscious eating. After that is Kevin Gianni, and I'm calling it his Renegade Health Tour. So if you've ever seen renegadehealth.com, it's a hoot. So please check it out and then come and visit him. He's on his way all the way from Connecticut. And then we have Don Allen Hardman on April 20th. He's a Toltec master, and he's going to be talking about living passionately without attachment to outcome, which is it's the name of one of his books as well. And then after that, on the 27th, we have Lydia Kindheart from Lydia's Loving Food. So they're all great speakers. Tonight we have Jerri Hastey has agreed to come and present for us. She has been an entrepreneur and successful in the business world for over 20 years, and although she's fairly new to the raw world the last 2 or 3 years, I love the story that what started as a 2-week cleanse with her daughter, 6 months and 60 pounds later, she knew she'd found the place to be, and she's now the owner and chef at Seed, which is Santa Rosa's raw restaurant. And she's going to talk to us about business opportunities in the real world, how to make it happen if that's where you want to do some business. So here's Jerri to give her presentation.
Thank you, Shea. Yeah. Hello, everybody. Now, okay, we're going to adjust. Is sound okay? Okay, great. First of all, I want to thank Cafe Gratitude. This is wonderful to host this type of event. And I'm just going to take a real quick second. The very first raw restaurant I went to, can anyone guess which one it was?
Cafe Gratitude.
Cafe Gratitude in San Francisco. It was my very first experience with raw food, and wow, it was really fantastic, and I got to say, I'm very grateful for the owners of Cafe Gratitude that really opened this door for a lot of people. I mean, it's fantastic, and now what started out as a board game, and evolved into a restaurant, and evolved into a farm and a movement, and so I really want to pay homage to Cafe Gratitude because. That was my first experience at a very good one. So my background, Shea filled you in a little bit. I've been raw for just a couple of years. I used to be this person. Let me hold it up a little bit better. This used to be me. I don't know how well you can see this picture.
Oh, aim it here.
Oh, yes. See how lovely. Here, actually, we'll do this side because that's actually the better photo. This one didn't reproduce very well. The color's really off. But anyway, you get the idea. Color doesn't matter on this one. I was kind of big. I'm mother of 5. And after the third kid, after the fourth kid, it just the weight stayed on. It just didn't go away. And I was doing some incredibly silly things. I mean, I was down to like 500 calories a day, and I would drop weight and then come back even bigger. And it was ridiculous. And I got into a point where I just gave up. I honestly did. I just said, that's it. This is me. I'm going to be happy being me. That oblivious bliss stuff. And then I went to visit my daughter down in LA, and she looked fantastic. Now, she's always been itty bitty. She's always, because she's an actor, and so she's really thin. But and she's healthy. Yoga 5-6 days a week. I mean, but it's a crazy business. I mean, when it comes to body image and weight, and if a director of a movie says, okay, next week for this scene you need to be 3 pounds lighter, And for somebody who only weighs 110 pounds, that's a big percentage. And she would starve, and she would do all sorts of crazy things. Well, a friend of hers turned her on to raw food, who's also an actor, and said, I'm going to buy you these boxes down in LA, Revolution, Matt's boxes. She said, I'm going to buy those for you for a month, and just let go of any judgment you have, because, and I did the same thing, and she schooled me. It's like, Mom, eat the avocado. It's okay. Nuts, don't judge it. Don't worry about the fat content. Eat the nuts. I mean, so, and she did it for a while. I went down to see her, and I used this word. I said, what's going on with you? You're like glowing. You've got this glow about, are you in love? Is there something I should know about here? And so she told me about it, and then that got me started. I thought, well, okay, I can do this for a couple of weeks. Eating raw food for a couple of weeks, yeah, I can do that. And detox and, see what happens. Well, 15 pounds in 2 weeks, 60 pounds in 6 months, and, hello, I'm happy. It just changed my life. It totally changed my life. And speaking of life, by a show of hands, how many of you in this room are alive? Anyone? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just about everybody. Almost everybody in this room's alive. That's good. I like talking to a crowd that's breathing. Okay, now by a show of hands, how many of you are actually living your life? I mean, really living your life. Good for you. Good for you. I mean, that's where I was at. I gave up. I physically gave up, I mentally gave up, I emotionally gave up on myself. And raw food brought me back to life. It got me, sure, I was inhaling and I was exhaling and I was taking those steps, and I'd get up in the morning and brush my teeth just about every morning. Kidding. But I was alive, but I wasn't really living. And then, I just got my life back because of raw food. And that sounds really dramatic, but it is so true. And I remember being on the phone with my daughter, and it's like, you can't tell people this. You just can't tell them how good it feels to feel your body alive, to feel all of this. I mean, and all of you who eat, obviously, everyone in this room is here because they are not only interested in raw foods, but they enjoy raw foods, right? Right. And looking at that to enhance your life, so, this Monday Night Life, wonderful. From what it sounds like with Shea, that we've got repeat people. I mean, you come here just about every Monday night, I'm guessing, to support the raw community and to learn and to get motivated by it. And I think that's fantastic. I think that's really great. So, my talk is titled Business Opportunities in the Raw World. Obviously, I own a business. I own a raw food business, and I see so many openings there for all of us. But I want to kind of open that title up a little bit more, because it's life opportunities in the raw world. It's ways of giving and receiving in the raw world. There are so many people. One of the things that surprised me the most with my restaurant, I really thought, that people who were raw foodies were going to be coming to my restaurant, and that was my customer base, raw foodies. And yes, raw foodies do go to raw food restaurants. I mean, that is true. But what really surprised me is the percentage of my customers that aren't even vegetarian. They're not. They're almost carnivores. Some of them are omnivores, but they come because they are looking, they're searching, they want something, and they know something's not quite right in their body. They're not feeling good. They're tired of taking pills, whatever it is, and they're looking for healthy solutions in their life. They're looking for something different. What's that saying? If you repeat, the definition of insanity is repeating the same thing over and over, expecting a different outcome, and so, these are pretty smart people. These are very smart people that are looking for alternatives, looking for something different. And, I almost feel like it's a service business. I mean, yeah, it is. We're a restaurant. That is but it's a different type of service. I mean, my background is in a therapy and natural healing business.